What can Apple do to combat the imminent deluge of cheaper Android smartphones about to hit the market? They're going to release the iPhone 9, otherwise known as the iPhone SE2, and this is going to be the most affordable way to get into the Apple ecosystem. So this is going to be coming in March, according to most reports, just in time to combat the brand new set of Android phones coming, and it's going to be priced around about $400 US, which is important for many reasons because at this price point, it brings two things that no Android company can give you, not just iOS, but also the A13 chipset. With the A13 chipset being without a doubt the most powerful smartphone chipset. But according to the latest rumors, you will be stuck with an older design for sure, which is really frustrating from my point of view, but I completely understand this is just Apple's way. The 3 GB of RAM that has been suggested for the device is again fairly irrelevant, as we know that this is just Apple's way, and iOS is a completely different beast to the Android phones that will always come with slightly more RAM. But anyway, 3 GB is only 1 GB less than we see in the way more expensive iPhone 11. So on that point, you are getting a really capable device for this price point, the same chipset as is used in the much more expensive iPhone 11 range. And you get a lot of benefits because of that. The price point is also really interesting because at this price, there aren't going to be many phones that compete with Apple's A13 chip. At around $400 USD, you have phones like the Realme X2 Pro, the Redmi K20 Pro, or for example, the Xiaomi Mi Note 10, all at similar prices right now, which I think are all good phones in their own right. Certainly very good phones in their own right, but they don't even come close to the A13 chipset. An area that will also stop some is the proposed camera setup. No changes here, just a single camera on the back. Albeit with the A13 chipset, you're going to get some really good image processing power out of that. And also that will include what Apple call Deep Fusion, which is basically just enhanced HDR and image processing. But pound for pound, that main camera is going to punch well above its weight. You just don't get all the peripheral and additional cameras that some other phones are going to give you. So compared to the Xiaomi Mi Note 10, for example, which is going to be around about the same price, on that phone you have Xiaomi's insane 108 megapixel camera sensor. You also get an ultra wide camera and 2 zoom cameras, a 2x and a 5x zoom. But you get a Snapdragon 730G processor, which is a slightly older chipset. It has already been replaced by the 765G. So you just don't get the image processing power and the power overall from that chipset like you would get in the A13 from Apple. You simply cannot argue with the additional ultra wide and zoom lenses that, for example, a phone like the Mi Note 10 will give you. We know how good Apple's main cameras are at taking images. However, I would have loved to have seen maybe an ultra wide on the iPhone 9, as we're going to call it, but I guess Apple have saved that for the way more expensive cheapest iPhone 11. Something that other phones will have over this new iPhone is smaller bezels and even the use of OLED screens. The new iPhone is apparently keeping the design of the old iPhone 8 with some slight changes, making the phone slightly thicker, which is in an attempt to give a slightly bigger battery. I would assume this is because of the A13 chipset, which does require more power, so a bigger battery is needed. It's also been said that the camera bump design has changed slightly, with actually the glass going all the way up to the camera bump. But overall, as a package, it is going to be very similar to what we see in the iPhone 8. Touch ID, of course, will be used with the old school fingerprint sensor on the bottom front of the phone. No Face ID has been tipped for this phone. I guess it's just slightly too expensive. And a report by Bloomberg has said Apple will start production of this phone in February, looking to launch the phone officially in March at its spring event. Subscribe for all the latest tech news and videos. That's it for now, but I'll see you in the next one.